symbol of excellence in sports entertainment.
What's happening, everyone? The Job Guys back with you one more time with another review. And today it is of the Elimination Chamber, the last PLE pay-per-view, whatever you want to call it, before WrestleMania 39. That is Nick over there. This is Ryan over here. We are the Job Guys. If you're joining us for the very first time, thank you very much. Nick, we're going to start with the match everybody's been talking about, the feud everybody's been talking about for the past, 6 months at least. But before we do that, overall thoughts on the show, thumbs up, thumbs down, 1 through 10, ABC. What are you giving it here?
I haven't been this excited, Ryan. We were even talking, like, when's the last time you really this excited for a pay-per-view, this some sort of angle, some sort of story? We had talked, you're on your way home back in the Monday Night Wars, you're late to get home Monday night, pedals to the metal, you're flying down the road from whatever you had to do, basketball practice, work, whatever we were coming from.
Right.
It felt like that. The atmosphere felt like that. But on the flip side, Ryan, after the pay-per-view, kind of let down. Not super happy with it. I don't want to say it sucked, but man, I was expecting, I guess I had my hopes up for a 9 or a 10, even an 8, and maybe I got a 4 or 5 on the pay-per-view. Really? I was not super happy, and I can elaborate.
We'll do that throughout. I wasn't that disappointed in it. Everybody I was talking to was like, this is the greatest pay-per-view ever, and this is amazing. And then they all were mad at the end. I want to say, and you can elaborate on this, before we break this thing down, Roman Reigns beat Sami Zayn. It was the finish that we all thought was going to happen, and we'll get into why we thought that was going to happen. But this night made people, 40-year-old people, feel like kids again.
Yeah,
it really did. And not just the people in Montreal, everybody in Flushing, Michigan, Orlando, Florida, your girl who's been with you for like 15 years. She goes to bed at like 7 or 8 every time I'm around. Will not watch wrestling, thinks we're idiots, doesn't want anything to do with it. She's into the Bloodline.
She loves the Bloodline, man. And she gets into, more or less Roman. She wishes I looked like Roman. I'm sure everybody else is.
I wish I did too.
Yeah, I'm sure. But, and again, she wasn't even sure who she was cheering because the story was so good. And you got such draw for Sami Zayn. And for everybody out there, just so you know, this was like you know how we always joke that's a regular Saturday night for Bad News Brown when he gets in the Royal Rumble. This was a regular wrestling night in the mid-late 80s. This was a regular wrestling pay-per-view for the Monday Night Wars. This is the feeling we got, folks. This is what it was like waiting for Hogan's Sting. I mean, we can all argue Andre Hogan was bigger. You know what else? I'm not going to
Macho Hogan, go down the list. Warrior Hogan,
this is what it felt like, people. DDP and Savage, places going nuts. This was the norm. Yeah, and your girl bought a Bloodline shirt. You just told me right before this. So that tells you, someone who wants nothing to do with any of this, and now she's all into it. Not just her. I mean, people got so into this night that I can't tell you how many people, and journalists is something else we'll talk about. That seemed to be the word of the weekend. Journalists. Is Montez Ford hurt? That looks like a concussion. I'm like, are you idiots? They immediately pick him up and start dragging him around. Leave the cage door open. I wonder what's going to happen. I think that's concussion protocol, isn't it?
Dude, I can't tell you how many novices and legit people going, I wonder if he's okay.
You know what, though, Ryan?
Like, are you dumb? The door's open.
Maybe attribute some of it to, you text me earlier this week, there are fans adding to the WWE with this Bloodline. Yeah. Now, some of these fans may be newer. Is that maybe?
But these are like Raj Giri and people like
okay,
Wrestling
I
Inc.
can't defend that, man. I'm sorry.
Like,
I was trying to find a way out for these people,
no,
but
no,
okay.
like journalists were even going, all right,
Yeah.
well, this
Well, you
could
could
be
see his
serious.
hand kind of took the blow on the
Yeah.
stomp a little bit. You could see he got
And
his
they
hand.
sent 40 dudes down there, and they weren't like doctors.
Medics,
it was
no.
like 8 referees.
And he's that, and again,
No
you just get him
backboard,
up.
no nothing. I mean, what are we doing? This is Wrestling 101.
But
What are we doing? Either Cena was coming down to beat up Theory, or Logan Paul was coming down to beat up Seth. One or the other, we got beat. But no, people were so. The point is, and I'm not trying to rip on people. The point is, everybody got sucked in tonight. And we did that with the Rumble too. And you were going to say, when's the last time you were this into something? And I was 3 weeks ago with the Royal Rumble.
I think this was bigger though for me than the Rumble
because of the crowd
and the culmination
in Montreal.
This is the storyline. You know, this is where we're going. It felt. The problem is I don't know that Sammy's there, but it felt WrestleMania-esque. It really did. It really did.
I said it, you know, that the storyline should be, and we were hoping it would end with The Rock, but that wasn't going to happen because the XFL
good
started
thing we didn't
today.
get him. Good thing we didn't get him the last few years, right?
Yeah. We
needed to wait for Hollywood. Wasn't that the deal?
Wait till Hollywood because, you know, that's the time to do it. Not a guy who's super busy. May have something else that comes up, like, I don't know, buying a football league from you. It started today.
If it happens next year, who cares?
It got everybody involved. And everybody kind of knew what the finish was. And I was pissed because somebody sent me a tweet earlier in the day. Meltzer had said earlier in the day that the Usos did get into the country and that they were going to be here. And I'm like, well, okay, now we definitely know the finish. And it was a little different, like, because Jay did not turn. Jay did not join the bloodline. Roman pushed him away, and then Sammy accidentally speared him.
I think they had to do that. They could. The turn was out there, Ryan. They had to.
It's the obvious thing.
It was, and they couldn't just go through it. It's kind of one of those things where it is the obvious thing. It might make sense to do, but for some reason they got spooked with that, I believe. And then this kind of cast the shadow of the doubt. I'm sure this will escalate with Sammy and Jay this week.
Yeah, something's going to happen. And it's going to be the tag match. Hopefully the main event of night one. Because I don't think either of those women's matches have any sort of juice to be the main event of night one. And we'll talk about that. We'll talk about that for sure. But this match, again, it made everyone turn into kids. And people are legit pissed. All my buddies that were like, this is the greatest night ever. Now they're like, this sucks. It's the worst. I don't want to see Cody. I want to see Sammy. And I want to talk about that too. Whoa, I got real bright real quick. We'll talk about that as well. But let me see if I can not be as bright. I guess not.
Ryan, it kind of
tells you storytelling, though. It tells you, again, the power of storytelling. This match was slow. It was plotting. There was numerous times where it was just Roman talking to him, talking to his family, smacking him in the face. It was all story, and it built, and it built, and it built. You don't need flipping and flopping and flying and this and this and this.
Every match. It felt like Cena Punk. Match. Remember, it felt like a little bit about Cena Punk.
It was all about the crowd.
The crowd was very into it.
Yeah.
It just, but yeah, it wasn't a 5-star match by any means. But it was a good story. It was Roman's look, man. If you go the way he's looking at the crowd in pure disgust, you know, how dare you, how dare you look at me like this and chant that. I will say this though, Ryan, I did write this. You know, they people say this is a great storyline, right? They did the whole storyline without cursing. The cursing got trashy to me after a while. I'm sorry. The Roman chants, man. I get it.
I mean, it's a different country. I don't know if it means the same to
I know,
them.
but
I'm not
it
sure.
just
and Sammy did swear in French last night.
Yes, I know he did, but yeah, it just I don't know, man. But other than that, man, what a great atmosphere. It was a fun match. I just kind of underwhelmed because no Rock, and I knew, and you kind of knew how the finish was going to go.
I was hoping the match was taking so long. And again, just being a mark myself, I'm like, maybe it's taking forever because they're waiting for Rock's private jet to land from Houston at the football game. He's not here yet. Delay. Keep it going. We're on Peacock. We got all night. We can do whatever. This crowd, it doesn't matter what we'll do.
Right.
You knew that wasn't going to happen, but so
that would have been perfect though if you want. I mean, because people have said Roman Rock doesn't need a belt,
right? And it would have made perfect sense. You do the Mick Foley finish. DX is out there helping Mick Foley. He's still not beating The Rock. The glass breaks. Austin comes out, costing the belt. Place is going ape. You do that same exact thing here. But obviously, the guy is not coming. We are not getting
there's nothing you can do.
Right. So that is what it is. Thoughts on the match? It ends with numerous ref bumps. Jimmy comes out, beats the crap out of him. Sami kicks out. Then Jay comes out. They do the same thing as the Rumble. Here's the chair. Hit him. He won't. Roman face pies him a couple times. Sami goes to spear Roman. Roman gets out of the way, spears Jay. Roman then nails him. 1, 2, 3. Match is over. Then after they're about to pound him, which we knew was at some form of this was going to happen, Kevin Owens comes out. And I knew that was going to happen in some form, but it kind of took the air out as well because I'm like, so I know those two weren't liking each other, but he didn't come out when the Usos were killing him. He didn't come out when Roman is just blasting him with a chair over and over again. He waits till after the match and then just kind of waltzes down to
the only thing I can say on that is I think maybe they're drawing the tie is Sami didn't save Kevin until after he had lost, until he was completely with his back up against the ropes, handcuffed.
Yeah,
and now
that could be.
Oh, Kevin Owens was saying, you know what? I left you out there. I let you see what these people are.
I got him off
I got him off you. You made your own bed. You're going to have to sleep in it, but I'm not going to let them mutilate you.
Yeah.
And that was kind of here, or kind of like, I see you hit my back, you scratched my back, I scratched yours. And I assume we'll have, I bet you it starts as they're up in the air where their friendship stands come Monday or Friday, whenever they start talking.
Because they didn't, hug or whatever. Kevin, he did what he did and he kept looking back and kept looking back and let Sami have his moment and he walked out. And that was that. So we are getting Roman Cody and somehow we are good because we still don't know what Jay stands. He did not join Roman. He did not, because Roman says it's him or me. But then Sami speared him, which in today's day and age, I hate that. The accidental chair shot.
Well, because you can watch it.
You can watch it.
And not only that, Ryan, they did the watch it back last week.
They said stay at home so you could watch it back.
And Roman was at home watching Jay have these interactions with Sami, but now Sami or Jay doesn't have the network.
Right.
I mean, is that
we don't have instant replay that he can see?
No, it's not available. I get that. Yeah, I'm with you. You can't do the miscalculated shots anymore where the guy doesn't understand, or at least it has to be done in a much more elaborate fashion if you're going to do it.
Yeah, you're going to have to. And they've got to do something here because Jay was not there at the end beating up Sami. So I don't know what they're going to do. They'll figure out something. But so yeah, that is that. You were disappointed though, even though you knew that was the finish. Did you hear that the Usos were in the country?
Yes.
You did too. Yeah.
I was just disappointed because it just seems, I don't understand the whole Cody thing with the bloodlines happening. I feel like maybe if they were doing this, they should have kept Jay, Sami, which was the original kind of feud.
Yeah.
Jay and Sami. I think by putting Sami in the ring with Roman, because we've already said this, when a person chases the belt and then they don't get it,
right,
you got to have a plan there in place to save that person, because they've went to the top, but they didn't reach it. What do you do with them now? Okay, so I get it. Sami teams with Owens. They beat the Usos at Mania.
Right.
Where do we go from there? A long title run?
Right.
That doesn't seem like main event status. Another Kevin Owens, Sami Zayn feud. How many of them have we seen?
And we have no, yeah. Oh my gosh. Yeah.
You know,
They feuded a million times.
I don't
and
want
there's
to.
no tag teams.
Right. So I get it. I'm okay watching the Usos and versus KO and Sammy, but it bums me out that Sammy got this big. A guy that me and you hated, despised, channel changer, go away guy, to a guy that I couldn't wait to see on television, a guy that was making me tune in. You know,
it made you feel like Monday Night Wars.
It days. Did, and I felt some sort of draw to him, some sort of relationship with him. And now he's lost though at the heavyweight title challenge. What do you do with? I mean, I don't know. I hope they have a plan. How do you get him back up to where he was?
I don't think you see. No, that I'm going to say I think they did, and it may be a problem. I think they may have kind of screwed themselves again this week because they did an awesome job the last couple of weeks with Cody in making Cody look like the alpha. Problem was this weekend, they kind of negated all of that because they had the Ariel Helwani package about Montreal and the greats of Montreal, and he's fighting for us, and he's the man, and all this, and then all the other stuff that they did. And talking to my buddies here the last couple of days, in the last couple of minutes, they're all in. They're pissed. They're pissed again. They're like, I don't want Cody. I want this guy. I don't want Cody. I think this weekend. Maybe they're going to have to do some serious work again to get Cody back, because I think Monday he looked like the alpha there when Sammy's like, I don't think I can win. I don't think. Right. And he acted almost like he was Sammy's dad, giving him a pep talk. You can do it, little buddy. Yes. Come on, and he totally looked like. So they're going to have to do that again. And not saying they can't because they've already done it once, but I think this just made people. And I don't know what the infatuation is. My friends were all infatuated with the crowd, which was amazing. They were awesome. And I would much rather have a hot crowd than no crowd. But some of these matches tonight, even though the crowd was crazy, I still didn't care about the match. So they didn't make me care about the match anymore. I don't care that they're chanting. I want to care about the match.
I do. I think they do help in matches you care about. Sure. They really elevate. Like Sami Zayn, I think got huge tonight because of the crowd. People that were watching saw that. Oh my God, it's okay. Like this is nuts. I don't think people distinguish. Canada's always freaking nuts when they get one of their own stars in the main event. But yeah, it won't do much for the other matches. I mean, I couldn't have cared less for the women's chamber. I'm sorry.
Well, and if this was Sammy 1 year ago and the crowd wouldn't have been as hot here.
No.
But if it was Sammy 1 year ago and there was a hot crowd, I would have not watched. I would not have cared. So it's the guys still. Definitely the crowd still does help. Nuclear heat for Roman, as you expected. I mean, you had like HBK, Earl Hebner heat out there. That was great. Again, this is the difference between WWE and everybody else. When they are on their A game, you don't need 50 flips and all this stuff. I mean, they were awesome. 4:14 from the time the bell rang to when they actually started wrestling. 4 minutes, 14 seconds. They just sat there and let the crowd go.
Only Hogan does that.
Only Hogan in Montreal glory hogged so much back in 2002, brother.
Yeah.
Only Hogan would do that. Great stuff with the wife at even before fun. The bell. I text the guys and I said, how can you still think Roman sucks? When he was holding the belts up toward the wife before they started fighting. And I didn't even know who she was at that point. His sister, I had no idea. He's holding them up, looking at her. I'm like, dude, this is great. This is great.
I don't know how anybody can. I mean, I can get that you don't like to cheer for Roman, but if you think if you have like go away heat for Roman, you're out of your mind. You're crazy. You're nuts. Yeah. This guy, you're going to, and you know what?
Or you haven't been watching.
And you're going to say the same thing everybody's saying when Cena, I'm so sick of Cena. wish Cena wasn't here. Do you?
Yeah.
Do you really wish Cena wasn't on the show still? Because
Well,
I miss him.
And again, if Sammy wins the belt here, unless Roman then fights The Rock,
Right.
now what? Where does Sammy go now?
Yep.
You know, and that's been my biggest thing. And with Cody too, I don't want to see Cody to this point. They got 6 weeks, but today, I don't want to see him beat Roman.
I'm still unsure of Cody, Ryan. Remember, he came in hot, no doubt. You snagged over a VP from the other organization, and that's huge. And he came over, had a great intro, had a great feud with Rollins, and it got even bigger because of the way it ended and the way he left with the torn pack. But then people forget. I think part of the reason he stays hot, he's gone. He's not there.
Like you didn't have a chance to.
Maybe I'm wrong, but if he was there this whole year, this might be different. And I'm curious if they put this. This is a big moment. Someone is dethroning Roman whenever it is. You can't undo this. You don't get a do-over. This is the biggest thing since giving Brock the Undertaker's streak. I'd say arguably bigger because this is your next big dude. Like, this is the guy that's going to beat Roman. I think Brock was already established kind of as a major player.
No,
and this is going to skyrocket someone. I hope they don't burn out.
Let's get into the first match of the night, which was the women's match. And I keep hearing from people, and the reason why I want to transition here, burnout. I keep hearing people say, yeah, what happened to Bianca? She's not hot anymore, man. She's cooled off big time. Look at who she's fighting. Look who she's in there with. A cold Bailey, who is with 2 people who have not been good at all. I don't care what they did in NXT. They have not been good up here. And now she gets to fight the winner of this match. That
knew who was winning going in.
You knew who was winning.
No way.
Because there was only one legit contender. Everyone else is no freaking chance. And I know there's a lot of Asuka fans out there. Anybody that's seen us before, I don't get it. I don't understand it.
I don't hate her.
I do.
I don't hate but here's the thing. I said this at the beginning. Her whole career was built off an undefeated streak.
Now
what do you do when she loses? And that's been the problem. Whether she's
what you do. You change her face paint, and all of a sudden, now it's great. Oh, she changed her paint.
But even when if you noticed over the years, Ryan, she's not even different from heel to face. She's the same person. She just screams at the camera in Mandarin. Sometimes goofy if she's a face, angry if she's a heel. And she has good matches, but her storylines, her character build, there's nothing there.
There isn't any. No.
You know, it's I could not be less enthralled. And I'm not a Ronda fan. I would rather see Ronda and Bianca at WrestleMania as like 2 beasts. I don't know if that's available.
No,
I don't want
to see they're going to fight for the tag belts. I assume they're going to fight.
Probably,
I agree, dude. I don't get it. Like, everybody in this match had a brand new gimmick too. Carmella just came back 2 weeks ago, back to her old gimmick.
Right.
Asuka, new gimmick. She's no different. She just has a different color face paint. Oh, okay. That makes it way better. Liv is Liv. Raquel is not ready yet. And she ain't Raquel Welch. So, you know.
I don't know that she's ever going to be ready. She did not have her moves were not great in this match.
Natty is back to she's in Canada. She could win. How many times? What is this? The 105th episode of that?
Right.
And Nikki Cross now is back to
scary Nikki
whatever
Cross.
Nutbag character. Like, this whole match is new characters and people who are not going to fight for the belt at WrestleMania.
Several characters have already failed. Nikki Cross wasn't good the last time we did this.
Went back to that.
You know,
Carmella's to that.
I don't think that's one. Her better gimmick was the one she had before she left.
This is Asuka's old gimmick as well.
This is they're just not good. I'm sorry. I could not. Wasn't a great match either.
I didn't think it was terrible. I just didn't care.
I said this. It was probably Liv Morgan's best performance. That power bomb she hit when she
Real good.
flipped over, that was awesome.
Yep.
I thought she gave a good show for her because she's not great in there. She usually has some botches, messed up, and I thought she did pretty good.
Yeah, Raquel blasted Natty. What was she blasted something? Nikki through the pod, Goldberg
Right.
style. That was cool. There was a few good spots. I quit watching
I
after
didn't think it
Liv
was good.
tapped
I didn't
out,
even think it was a
and
good
then
match. Yeah.
three other people went out immediately. I like started
Immediately.
looking at my phone, and then it was ding, 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 ding. Whoa, whoa, whoa! Everybody's out. Next thing I know,
You just
Carmella's in there.
and you knew Asuka was winning this. Like, I mean, before they
Yeah,
even started,
yeah.
Carmella has had her time. Liv, they tried last summer, it didn't work. You said Rodriguez isn't ready yet. Nikki Cross, there's no way she's headlining WrestleMania. It just there wasn't anybody in this
Right.
who could beat Asuka.
We then go to Brock Bobby 3. This match, kind of as expected, with nothing but
Yeah.
power move, power move, power
And
move,
you
power move.
expected, you knew that was coming. This is Lesnar
This is what
matches.
they do. And
Yeah.
then he's in the hurt lock and he does the mule kick. Brock, that is pronouns. Mule kick into the nuts. They just call the match off immediately, and that's it. And then Brock just destroys Bobby afterwards, destroys the ref, whatever. But where are we going here?
I wrote that right here, Ryan. I am confused. I thought the winner of this match would feud with Wyatt. How does a feud end on a DQ? Are we looking at a triple threat match? Another Lashley versus Lesnar? Is this the end of that feud? I don't. What
Did
do
they
we do?
pull the plug on? Did they like get cold feet on Bray
Well,
last night after he
maybe.
came out on SmackDown? It was like, I'm gonna fight the winner. Did they like that didn't
Well,
go
Ryan,
over
you
too well?
got two. You got two dudes who are over. I'm not gonna. I mean, I know people can say Bobby is not as over as he could, but Brock Lesnar,
Yeah,
and Bobby Lashley
yeah,
are both top
yeah.
dudes in the company. What happens when people get in the ring with the Fiend, Ryan?
I don't know. I don't know if they changed their mind or if they found
Because
something else.
he
They've
does.
already changed their mind with Bray like six
I get
times. He is Uncle Howdy. He isn't Uncle
it.
Howdy. He's in. What are we doing? And I don't know what happened because he, like you said, challenged the winner of this match. There was no winner of this match. People then thought Bobby was going to win because there was a rumor that it was going to be Gunther against
Lesnar. I
Lesnar.
heard.
But now are we just going to get Lashley and Brock again? And if we are, I'm over it. I
Me
don't
too.
want to
Or
see
are
it
they?
anymore.
Or does the Fiend defeat them both in a triple threat match?
What's the angle there?
I don't know. That's why I'm saying.
What's the
I
angle
don't
with any Fiend match? But
because they left us with him saying he wants the winner of that.
I
And
will say this. They advertised because somehow Bray Wyatt has PR people that he told the SmackDown folks, hey, I'm going to do a funhouse next week. So they advertised a funhouse next week. I will say this, as much as I hate that junk, there was part of me that was like, it may be hilarious seeing Brock in the funhouse as Cowboy Brock and like making fun of the pig and making fun of the
that might
whatever.
work.
Like I was like, this could actually be hilarious.
I
Anyway.
think that would be. It would have to be the end of it then. That would have to be.
Wait, it wasn't the end when it burned down.
That's what I know when Seth burned it. No, dude, it's a different dimension, Ryan. Things don't just burn down forever over there.
Oh my gosh,
it's a different dimension. But yeah, I mean, if you're gonna go comic style on that, right, like that, it would be probably the end of it.
Braid again. What are we doing?
I don't know, man. Mine's happening.
I'm
too.
On the sun all of a sudden.
But just
I don't know what's going on.
I don't know, man. I don't want to see Bobby and Brock again, though.
I'm over it now. I don't want to see it anymore.
I wish one of them. I thought going in there, I was hoping Bobby would win, but I was like, either one of these guys could take a loss, and it's not really going to wreck their career because they're also losing to a top tier guy. It's not like they're putting someone over. Lesnar's already over. Lashley's already over.
Yeah.
I just thought, like you, confused, weird finish.
Next match is Edge and Beth against Rhea and Finn. The very first thing I write down is, now, to some people's credit, they said the crowd was hot. First thing I wrote down is I have zero interest in this.
I wrote,
But
didn't really care about this match.
The crowd was good.
It's
but
Edge.
The heat was for Dominic.
Yeah.
It's for Dominic. F you, Dom chance. When he got out of there.
Does he remind you of Danny Davis? He reminds me of Danny Davis.
I said that. See, I thought he was in this match, and I said exactly that. Maybe to you. I was like,
I don't know if I talked
win
about it,
because Dom gets the pin a la WrestleMania 3.
I wrote this down here. I thought Ripley, the wrong team won. This is another one where Beth, I get that good guys need to win majority of the feuds. Right. I get that. Beth and Edge they're who they are. A win, loss, it doesn't matter to either character. You got Ripley steamrolling toward a main event match at WrestleMania. I thought, because I knew Dom wasn't in this, I thought she should have pinned Beth, just to help steamroll to get this. The Judgment Day has lost so much over the past 6-8 months, man.
Yeah.
Even I think AJ Styles, who hasn't won a match since pre-COVID, has beat Finn Balor in the Judgment Day. You know,
I think he has.
It just, I thought the other side could have used it. There was a really bad botch. I don't know if you saw it.
Yeah,
after
the kick out, non-kick out.
Oh, the non-kick out. That was bad.
Beth got there late.
Yes,
Beth
she
got
did.
there late. So, yeah, he tried to save it. Yeah.
Even Sid kicked out of a leg drop, brother. Just kick out. Just kick out. Don't just stand there.
Yeah, Edge tried to save that one because Beth was definitely late getting in there.
Yeah,
the match was actually fine. There was some cool the live rounds between the two girls with the clotheslines was actually pretty good. Much as I hate to stand there and hit each other's spot, that was a little different than what we've seen with the clotheslines. I thought that was fine. I thought the match was actually better.
I don't like mixed tags, Ryan. I'm sorry. I'm just not a fan of them. I don't think for every one that you name that you could say is good, maybe the Ronda, Kurt Angle, Stephanie, Triple H, which was surprisingly good. What would you have rather seen? Sweet Sapphire and Sherry in the match, or would you have rather had Savage and Dusty one-on-one at WrestleMania?
Yeah, I totally agree. We just saw this a year ago with Beth and Edge, and it seems like he's been with her for a year now because this whole angle where they blasted Beth with the chair was 6 months ago or something. So anyway, Edge wins with a spear, pins Finn Balor. But Dom is, I'm sorry, dude.
People hate him. They hate him.
He is everything about this. People, the Judgment Day are so much better now. No, it's Dominic that. And Damian Priest still does nothing for me. Finn Balor does nothing. He's
got Bobby the Brain Heenan heat. He's got this. I want to see this dude get pounded.
Yeah, and it's good.
And it's fine. Yeah, it's going to lead to Rey Mysterio's most relevant match at WrestleMania in years.
Maybe.
I assume that's who they're going to do, right? Dom versus Rey.
You would assume, but I don't know how they get there. But
I think that's where they're going.
Second to last match was the Fellas Elimination Chamber match.
This I actually liked.
For the U.S. title. Yeah, go ahead, man. For the U.S. title. And Theory ends up coming out, and we talked about it a little bit.
He needed to. The right guy won, didn't he? I
think so.
He needs to keep the belt. I think he needs to defeat John Cena if that's who he's fighting at WrestleMania. I think this kid is one of the futures of the company.
I do too.
This kid is great. I don't, how big? I don't know. Is he Rock Austin type big? Probably not, but I don't know. But yeah, he's awesome. I love his interviews. He's got the look. He can work. He's the complete package. You know?
I agree. Again, we talked about Ford. The last three were Ford, Seth, and Theory. Ford got curb stomped on outside the ring. They pretended like he was really hurt. Immediately, like 10 dudes came out and dragged him out of the ring. He's selling it. The door is still open and still open and still open. And Seth is going for the win. He gets the buckshot lariat from Logan Paul, who shows up out of nowhere. Then he curb stops Seth. Theory pins him. That's it. So obviously our main event is, or not main event, but match for WrestleMania, as we all expected, Logan Paul against Seth Rollins, which they had kind of set up
which
at the
I think
Rumble.
It'll be a great match.
I think it'll be awesome. And here's one thing now, it might change during the match because he does nothing but face moves during the match. But they finally made Logan Paul the heel here. And they finally made Seth Rollins. Yes, they've always wanted to boo him. Now they finally legit made him, you are the heel.
Yeah.
And that's great. But once again, we all kind of just thought that was going to be the match because they had a little moment in the Rumble. I was at the Super Bowl. I met Seth at the Super Bowl on Radio Row, and I couldn't hear everything he was saying to everybody else, but he kept talking about Logan Paul. Once again, the genius of WWE. Because I'm sitting there going, well, Seth's one of their better interviews. Maybe that's why he was there. Like, why is Seth at Super Bowl Media Day, Media Row? Because he's fighting Logan Paul, who is a celebrity, and he's getting that out there for every Tom, Dick, and Harry sitting around watching the Pat McAfee show, listening to the Jim Rome show, listening to Colin Cowherd, all of these, Rich Eisen. He just throws a subtle jab out there at Logan Paul. Hey, I know who that guy is. I hate that guy. More eyeballs on WrestleMania. These guys know what they're doing, man.
Yeah, they do.
I mean, this is the difference. This is the difference between the big leagues and the not big leagues.
Yeah,
the match itself. Anything that stood out?
Montez Ford. It's time to break him up. It's time, Ryan. This guy. I think they have another gem here. That drop off the top of the cage was awesome. And the guy has so much charisma that you can just feel it pouring out, man. That guy, I see big things. On the flip side, I don't want to see Gargano again. Like, this guy's terrible. Like, I don't understand whatever. Like, what is it? What am I missing?
I don't know.
This guy, I don't want to watch him on Sunday morning in 88. Like, I mean, like, just this guy is not good. Like, and for everybody says, well, he's good in the ring. So is everybody else, man.
That's the argument. So is everybody else. He came out to crickets, probably the lowest amount of crowd noise the entire night. Now, there was a Johnny Wrestling
would cheer for this guy.
There was a Johnny Wrestling chant when the bell rang, and he did do some cool moves. He had a good move in there where he Hurricane Rana.
Problem,
right? I mean, he's just generic.
I thought he almost died on that Hurricane Rana thing. I thought he hit his head pretty freaking hard, but
that was a cool spot, man. Hurricane Rana, Seth off the top of the thing.
The match was good, dude. The match was. I even think, who's the big dude again? Reese or something like that.
Bronson Reed.
Okay, yeah. I'm not super familiar with NXT and everything. That guy, he reminds me, a little bit of a Samoa Joe or an Adrian Adonis, a bigger guy that
he can
move.
Fly.
That's why he can move.
Yeah.
I'm excited for his future. I don't know. I'm not saying he's going to be main eventing WrestleMania next year, but
they protected him too because he just came back. He's only had 2 or 3 matches. It took every finisher in that cage to knock him out.
That was great.
It took every single finish.
This was my favorite match, like of the I think worked wise of the night. This like that they did. Like I like the story in the Roman match. But these guys put on a show, like as far as like if you like, cool moves and stuff,
See, and I want to go into another diatribe on that. I didn't like the match very much until about the last 10 minutes, and then it got really good. I'm like, oh well, that's when all the cool moves started, and you're always ripping on the other channel and the flippy floppy guys for just doing moves. That's the difference. Once again, what happened after that Hurricane Rana off the top of the pod? Seth was out for a minute, 3 minutes, 5 minutes. Gargano was out. They sold that thing. It made a difference in the match. Ford, when he flipped off the thing, made a difference in the match. Like, they weren't just moves, nukes, and they get right up and do another nuke right after they did the nuke. There was they all meant something. They all mattered. Every single one of them mattered. So that's, again, the difference between this. And that's why I did not hate this match,
I
where
liked it.
some people may be saying, oh, well, it was nothing but a bunch of moves. No, I didn't love it, but I thought it was really good,
I did
especially the last 10 minutes.
The only thing you can, and you see this every year, we're seeing this with the Rumble. Another like repeat, though. All of a sudden, Theory is now trying to hide in the pod, same as we saw Carmella doing earlier. I hate that. That's what this is. What you're seeing more and more of when you're doing these same
match
two Rumbles.
Twice a night.
Yes, it's so hard to write the match, and I just thought the Theory thing was dumb because we already saw it.
Yeah, we saw Carmella do it an hour earlier.
Right.
What they did do, they did step it up with some of those moves that I don't know that we've seen before. And I haven't seen every single Elimination Chamber match, but the Ford up top, climbing all the way up, and then doing a backflip kind of down onto the fellas. The Hurricane Rana, there was a couple of moves that were pretty good.
If you look, I think the big thing I can say and why I like this match, you elevated Montez Ford. I think everybody can say he came out of this noticed. People are going to start to say maybe this guy goes single.
And they've been waiting for a year.
I think the right guy won. It was a big win for Austin Theory, pushing him more validity. Now he has defeated Seth Rollins. He has defended against Bobby Lashley. He has walked out of the Elimination Chamber. This guy is getting established as a real deal after he jobbed for like 9-10 months of the year.
Right.
I think you did a great job setting up the Seth Rollins, Logan Paul feud for WrestleMania. So I think everything fell into place in this match with the major players that you needed it to do for.
Exactly. No, I completely agree. And that, again, that's why I liked it, because when they did the spots and things, it all mattered. It put Ford over.
Yeah.
It put Theory over as the winner, and you set up your massive celebrity match. It did everything it needed to do. And again, Reed is kept strong, even though he was the first guy pinned, but it took 5 finishers for this guy.
Reed is kept strong, right?
And Gargano and Priest, whatever, who gives a rip. But the other 4 guys were all good. So again, that's why I think this was great.
Me too.
I thought they did really well here. Ford now, I don't know what you do with him. They've been teasing a breakup for a year. Once again, though, if you put the belts on Sami and Kevin, now that's another tag team that's gone. They're not going to be together.
And they're actually a real tag team. They're just not Steve Smith and Johnny put together.
Yeah, and they need tag teams, because I don't know who they have right now. They got them, and they've got the New Day, and they've got the Raiders. Is that all they have?
The Viking Raiders are immediate channel change. And the New Day, as much as me and you actually have loved them, and I still do like the dudes in New Day, I'm just done with New Day.
Yeah, and we have been for a couple of years. Anything else wrapping up? WrestleMania, what are you looking at? Obviously, Cody Roman, the tag match for the belts. What else are we looking at here? That
I'm hoping, all right, people, for the stale people on Bianca, we got a face versus face going. I don't think they can leave this. Maybe Bianca's going heel. Because I don't. Can you?
I think Asuka is supposed to be a heel, but people are cheering for her because she was gone for a while. And
I think it would switch up with me. I'd like to see her murder some people for a while, ragdoll.
Yeah, you've been talking about that,
and that would be something that I'm going to look forward to. Seth Rollins, Logan Paul. I am extremely cautious about putting the belt on Cody Rhodes at WrestleMania. This is a huge. I mean. This is a push like you're not going to get. I would even rather maybe see him fail at Mania, and if he stays healthy, challenge again at SummerSlam, and maybe we give him the belt at SummerSlam if he's still over. Because I'm just afraid once he wins that belt, he's just a super good guy and a nice guy.
I don't know. I mean, he hasn't been around long enough to know what they're going to do. So we'll see what they're going to do. But yeah, I have the same concerns.
But again, I like Cody. Everything's been great. I'm also worried. Is every member of the Bloodline going to lose at WrestleMania? I mean,
I think they are. Unless Roman wins,
unless Solo gets a match.
It all goes back to The Rock, though. Again, and unless he's there, none of this makes any sense.
Right.
So it's just going to end like
Cody
that's just going to be it. Cody's going to be the guy.
Cody defeats the Bloodline. They all lose the titles. But I did hear Roman is booked for the next pay-per-view after WrestleMania. Now, I could be wrong on that, but I did read that he is supposed to be at that pay-per-view, and there are rumors that maybe the Saudi Arabia one. It may be a backlash at Saudi Arabia.
I don't know when the next Saudi show is.
Me neither.
Last year it was in February. The Elimination Chamber was in Saudi Arabia,
right,
wasn't
that's
it?
Right. So I don't know. I've heard rumors. I could be wrong. But if he's supposed to be there, I mean, because I'm just worried about that. That's my big one. I'm worried about taking this belt off Roman and making sure it go, because this is a big, I'm not against him losing. He has to lose. Like, I hope people don't think
eventually
he has
to lose to
the next guy you're gonna strap jetpacks on.
Yeah.
And send him to the moon.
You had this guy 900 days. They're comparing him to Bruno and all this stuff, and they have been. You didn't do that for just some guy to beat him. A lot of good, but I mean, I'm not too worried. A lot of people are pissed. I am not that pissed because this is what I expected to happen tonight.
And I've said that I don't know that Sami's as much. I'm really enjoying Sami Zayn more than I ever have before.
Who would have thought?
I was even maybe possibly cheering him tonight, but in the back of my head, I'm still thinking Sami Cody night 2 of WrestleMania. Like,
no, there would be night 1.
But it even doesn't work for me, brother. Like, I just don't.
Then who would Roman fight unless The Rock was there? He's gonna fight Jay.
No, I mean, that's it. It's just he can't. Like, Sammy,
you know what's worse than Roman Jay?
No, I meant Sami Cody.
Right, but I mean, then who does Roman fight?
Right, there's nobody without The Rock. It has to be Cody Roman. I mean, there's nothing.
They could have a triple threat still, but I don't think that's
I don't
want
to see that,
because then what does Kevin Owens do?
And the loser will really lose in that situation if it's Sami or Cody in a triple threat match, because it looks like you were just thrown in there to take.
They'd have to pin Roman.
They would have. Someone would have. The winner would have to pin. But again,
then you wouldn't be the real champ.
To me, if he loses after this record run in a triple threat match, even if he gets pinned, that to me still takes away from that lot. It's got to be a one-on-one, mano-a-mano when Roman's shoulders hit that mat. I think.
It'll be interesting to see if they let Cody take this.
Yeah.
And Roman might want time off. He's already part-time. He may be like, dude, I'm out for 3 months.
Right. And, I completely understand that. But we got some time, Ryan. We have time.
Weeks. We got weeks to figure this out. And they can make something happen. I do have faith in that because who would have ever thought I would like Sami Zayn? And they made that work. So, and a lot of people out there that didn't think they'd ever think Roman was cool do think he's cool. So they somewhat know what they're doing here.
They do have a lot of big matches heading into Mania. Like, I mean, a lot of, Logan Paul and Seth Rollins is going to be big. I mean, Rey Mysterio, Dominic Mysterio. I know it's not like big, but that'll be interesting with the heat that's on Dom and a father-son going at it. Yeah. There's an angle storyline there. The Usos versus Owens and Zayn will be big. And
Cena Theory
will be big. He
kind of called out Cena already without calling him out tonight.
Yeah.
He started making open challenges and saying there's no one in this company that can stop me.
So I think as far as like in previous years, the women have really landed some big top matches, marquee. Kind of not excited for the women this year at this point in time.
Yeah, and their big one is the Charlotte Rhea, and I think people like Rhea. They don't like Charlotte, and especially in a face role.
Yeah,
I think they really dropped the ball. I know where they're going. The story long term makes sense, but people wanted to see Rhea and Bianca because there's a long term there going back to NXT. I didn't see it, but that's what I've been told. And they were in the Rumble in the last couple there for a while, and they went with Bianca instead of Rhea. I think that's the match everybody wanted to see.
Well, I think, you're right. I think the Rhea, although it was a while ago, Rhea and Flair, we've seen. Asuka and Bianca, we don't want to see.
I don't
So,
care.
I don't either. I don't want to see Asuka in any main event at WrestleMania.
I don't. No, they'd have to do something crazy with her that I just don't know that it's possible. We shall see. Thank you, buddy. Thanks, everybody out there. Please hit like. Please hit subscribe. If you loved this night, if you hated this night, if the end ruined what you thought was a good night, let us know in the comments. Thank you for making it through this, even if you watch 5 seconds of it. Thanks for watching. Check out some of our other things. We're going to be doing some Mania stuff as well, leading up to Mania, and all sorts of good stuff coming. Once again, thank you so much for watching. And yeah, buddy, we will see you next time.
Appreciate it.
Job guys out.
Pleasure's all yours, Bucky boys.